Now, sticking with football, there is probably no one better than John Madden to talk to about that game. The Pro Football Hall of Famer played, coached, broadcasted, and to the younger generation, his name graces the cover of one of the best-selling video games of all time. Now, sadly for all of us, he retired from broadcasting this year, but we are happy that he joins us now from California. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I want to ask you first about Plaxico Burress. What do you think about this incident and the fact that it looks like a lot of NFL players are getting slapped with real punishments for the things they do off the field?
Well, you hate to see it, and you hate to see it, happen to any player in the NFL or to anyone, but you just hope that it's a lesson, not only for Plaxico Burress, but for all the players in the NFL, for all young players in any sport anywhere, and for all young people anywhere, that it's not good. It's a bad thing. Now, if some good can come out of it by someone learning a lesson, then that can be a plus, and that's what I hope for.
Will he be able to return to football, do you think, like Michael Vick has with the Eagles?
I think that's probably, if you had 10 things, that's probably number 10, in importance to him, is how is he going to adjust to this? How is he going to get through it? How is he going to feel about it? Is he going to change his way? I mean, there's so many more important things than will he play football that I think have to be taken care of before we get to that.
It was probably one of the last things that Michael Vick was concerned about as well, as he went into prison. But, of course, everybody else was wondering whether he would come back to the NFL, such a great quarterback. Would you have wanted him on your team if you were coaching today?
Probably not. I mean, I probably wouldn't have wanted, the circus that would go with it and all the attention. And if I had a quarterback, I think back when I was coaching, I had Darryl LaMonica, I had Ken Stabler, I had George Blanda. I had quarterbacks, so I wouldn't have messed with it. Now, if you said, well, what if you didn't have one, or if you didn't have a big playmaker, maybe I would have taken a shot. But if you have one, and I don't know exactly what Philadelphia is going to do with him, because I know that Donovan McNabb is their quarterback, and Donovan McNabb is a better quarterback than Michael Vick was when he was a good quarterback. And then they have this guy that they like, Kevin Cobb. They like him as their second quarterback. So I'm not exactly sure, one, if Vick can play at all, and then two, if he can play, what they're going to do with him.
What about Brett Favre? I mean, he's been a great quarterback, had a great career, but is he getting a little old? Are you concerned about his ankle?
Well, I think it's his ankles and his shoulder and his arm and, getting through the season. I mean, that's the thing. You have to remember the Minnesota Vikings were in the playoffs last year. So they're not bringing Brett Favre in here to win 6, 7, 8 games. They're bringing Brett Favre in here to win a championship. So it's not, necessarily how is he today, how is he next week, how is he a month from now. It's how's he going to be when you get into playoff time. How's he going to be in December and January? And I don't know that he can hold up.
All right, I want to ask you about the game. I mean, we've been doing a lot with it. We were excited about the release. I've been playing it. But I wonder, from a business perspective, how have you been able to profit from this? I mean, it's got to be one of the best-selling sports games of all time. What has this game done for you?
Well, the thing is, I started this game before video games. And we worked 3 or 4 years on it to make it a computer game. And that was our original idea. And my idea was I wanted it to be a teaching tool for fans and players. Trip Hawkins, who started EA, wanted a game that you could play on computers. And then so we finally, took 3 or 4 years, we finally got the game going. And then these video games started to come out, the hardware. So we were able to adjust and adapt our hardware to them. And so to say, are you surprised by, how far it's come or where it's gone? I'm surprised, but everyone was surprised, because when we started, we had no idea what it was going to be.
Well, it's a shockingly good game. John Madden, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt.